Alright, good evening craps fans. This is Scott from Paradise Craps. Back at you for session 14 of Waylon's Way Craps DC Pony. So 13 was very unlucky. Basically torched the bankroll for that session. $2,000. But can't win them all. That's what we're willing to risk. So that's the way the cookie crumbles on that one. Let's see if we can get back to our winning ways and make it back. We're still up for the series, 13 sessions. And I went through, I think I went through it a couple of times at the end of that last session. So Dr. Don't Pass 1 was asking where we were. And I think if he would have watched to the end of the video, he would have seen where we are. Alright, so we got 500 and 1,000 is 1,500 and another 500 out of the overflow rack. So I was watching somebody called Roulette Fever, The Roulette Fever, something like that. First time I watched their channel. And they were doing 1 to 18 and third dozen. $25, so $15 on 1 to 18, $10 on third dozen, and then when they lost, they would go same bet one time, then they would go double, so they basically martingale it after that until they were back into session profit, and then go back down to the base level, which was $25, $15 on the 1 to 18, and $10 on the third dozen. And so each win was $5 for that one. And they were, like us, only looking for $100, $100 bandito. And looked pretty good. So obviously martingale is dangerous. Friends don't let friends martingale. But at least for that session, up to $100, I don't think he had to go above the third level, although when I was playing it on Bovada, I did have to go to the fourth level, so $200. I had to do that twice to get the $100. So anyway, something interesting. Maybe we'll put the roulette table back out and give that a shot maybe tomorrow. Alright, so we got our $2,000. Yeah, I was talking to BAM. He got his clock cleaned on this one. And, you know, and if we honestly, if we would have had like 2 losers on this one back to back, I would have discarded it pretty quick. But we haven't. We've been very successful with it overall, and so that's why we're still rolling it out. Going to continue with the 30 sessions. So we'll see how that goes. Here we go. Let's give it a shot. Again, we got $1,000 in green and $1,000 in hundreds. And then the other thing was IPTV mentioned that Waylon had changed the strategy a little bit, and instead of 4 to 1, which is what we're doing with the $100 and the 25, he had changed it to 5 to 1. So if we were going to stay with the $100, you would do a $20 continuous come. So hey, Red Eye, good evening. All right, so we're on the 8. That was the 8. So we had a 7 come out, 7, and now we're on the 8. I'm just going to stick with what we've been doing for now, just for consistency's sake. I know that going to the $20 come would make a difference, but I don't think it's a significant amount of difference. I mean, if you're piled up at a high number and you just keep getting whacked, that's not going to help. You know, I was wondering, you know, if there was any way that we could reasonably hedge the PSOs, but I don't know. You know, the couple of things that I've tried on win craps weren't really great. All right, so we move behind the 5. We are on starting our continuous come, and we are looking for a 7 at this point until we get loaded up. All right, so that's a 10. Then we're going to look for some box number hits before the 7. That's a 4. And that's a 5, so we're going to get knocked off of our DC. And that's problematic, not so problematic early on. So we're going to lose that 100 there. And I'm going to go out for 200 on a DC. But as you get deeper into the roll, that 7 is, you know, ever closer average-wise. So that increases the danger of going up. So maybe there's some rule or we can put in place that says after so many rolls you don't go up on your DC, you just flat bet it. All right, so that's a 2-unit DC now on behind the 9. So we're going to do a 2-unit come. And we got a 10. Puppy paws. Odd 10. All right, so that's going to move to the 10. 10's going to move down and get paid. And we'll leave it out there for 2 units. Here we go. And there's our 7 out. All right, so we'll take our 2 units down from the 10 to pay the come. We're going to lose 50 there, but we're going to get 200 behind the 9. All of that comes down. And we start a new hand. Here we go. And we got to come out 7. Hey Red Eye, have you tried this one at your local at all, at a lower level? 8. All right, so we're on the 8. Again, $100 DC. And we got a Clicky Clack 2, which is a winner on the DC, craps 2. So we'll get 100 for that. And then we got a 6. All right, so that's going to move behind the 6. I'm not going to want to play the 6, so I'm going to get some nickels. All right, there's 5 for 2. Seems like a good deal. And we got our $90 place on the 6 working, and we got another $100 DC out here. Here we go. Nope, I'm a blackjack player. Really? Did not know that. All right, there's a 3 AC Doocy, so that's going to be another winner on the DC. Here we go. And there's our 7, which is going to be a loser on the DC. All right, so the dice give it, then the dice take it away. All right, so that's going to pay us on our DC here, 100. We got 90 over there, so that's another $10 out of the bank to make us whole there. All right, here we go, coming out. And we got a 4. Point is 4. All right, $100 DC. Looks like we're still in profit, a little bit of profit there. 2 craps. The craps are definitely rolling in our favor so far this session. That's going to pay us on the DC. And now we got an 11, and we're going to lose the DC. So that's kind of the price you pay on the DC. All right, and there's a 5. All right, so we're going to move behind the 5. Single unit. Here we go. And we got a 9 meter. All right, so that come's going to move to the 9. Out for another come. And we got an 8. All right, so it's going to move to the 8. Another come. And we got a 2. It's going to be a loser on the come. Back out for a quarter. And we got a 6. Oh boy, we're loading up those box numbers. All right, that's going to move to the 6. Another 25. All right, 6, 8, or 9. 10. Puppy paws, hard 10. All right. All right, looks like all of our box numbers except for the 4 are loaded up. Let's see if we can hit a few of them. We got an 8. There's one. Like to hit maybe 3 of them before we 7 out. All right, so that's going to come down and get paid. Back in our rack. And there's a 3, which is going to be a loser on the come. And that's a 10. That's going to be a winner. So it's going to move down to the 10. 10's going to move down back to the come and get paid. There we go. A couple more would be nice. 8. There we go. 6s and 8s are easy, right? All right. So that's going to move to the 8. That's going to go down and get paid. There we go. And there's our 7 out. So I think we probably lost a little bit on that one. So one of these is going to pay the come. We're going to lose 75 and get paid 100. So maybe we made something on that one. I don't know. All right, so I want to get some change here. Let's see. 4 for 1. Trying to get my 500 stacks back to even here. All right, still down a quarter. All right, so there's 5 for 1. All right, so our 500 stacks are good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're up 240 bucks. All right, and we're off the 4. Here we go. Oh, what do we got? Red Eye's talking. Advantage blackjack player. Yeah, there you go. Good. Right now you're even on the 4, 7, and 10. Did you see I rolled one out for you the other day? Just 36 rolls. I got destroyed with this strategy yesterday. Luckily there was no money involved. Ooh. What destroyed you? Just the, hey Marvin, just the PSOs? Good evening. Yeah, wanting is okay, but you really need to have a strategy that's solid. And I think in general this is solid, but I'm curious to see how you got destroyed. Was it just PSOs? Was it, you know, PSOs, it's got to be the PSOs, because the PSOs are the most damaging part, the biggest hole in this particular strategy. If you're rolling a bunch of PSOs or other people are rolling a bunch of PSOs, then you don't have much of a chance. Especially if you're chasing it with larger and larger DCs, because you're just going to get wiped out. My session 13 was, I think, proof of that one. I mean, we've seen it before, and we've gotten lucky. 2 craps, so that's going to be a winner. But, you know, that luck is razor thin, and it can go either way very easily. 11, so we're going to lose the DC. And we got a 6. And I don't want to play the 6, so I'm going to go back out for a $90 place on the 6. There we go, another $100 DC. And we got a 10, 6, 4, 10. That's a good number for the DC. Behind the 10 on that one. And we'll start our 1 unit come bets. And we got a 4, so that's going to move to the 4. That was a 4. There we go. And that says 7 out, so that's all right. 100 bucks, we'll take that. All right, so the 4 is going to pay the come. We're going to get paid 100 on the DC behind the 10. And we're going to make 100 on that. We got 90 out there, so we need another $10 from the bank to make us whole on that one. All right. So now we're up 300, looks like. Pretty close. Hey, Anthony, good evening. How do you get around the PSO? Lay the 4 while the DC is waiting to be hit, then take it down after. Yeah, I tried that. I tried just the 4. I tried the 4 and 10, you know, like half and half. That way, if you get hit on one, you're only getting hit for half as much, versus if you're getting hit on the 4, especially with a lay, right? So, you know, you got 100 here, you got to put out 200 on the lay. You know, whereas if you do 100 and 100, now you're still getting your 100, you know, to cover this, but you're only losing the 100 there, right? So that's going to get replaced with your DC. and you lose the lay. So I think the 4 and 10 might be better, but I just kept hitting those damn 10s. I just kept hitting them, and it was it didn't seem reasonable. Didn't seem reasonable. All right, so where are we at? I think we're starting over. We got a 7 there. Shit, now I don't know what I rolled. I think we're back out on the DC. No, I think we're off the number. Now we're going to be. All right, here we go. New point. And we got a 6. All right, so point is 6, $100 DC. Here we go. Red Eye, you don't have to play every hand. No, you don't have to play every hand. But what does that solve, other than save you from possibly losing money, I guess? Yeah, and playing just for the... Oh, shoot, there's a 7. So now we're going to get whacked on our DC on that one. All right, here we go, coming out. I mean, I like to do things for a reason, to have a purpose. All right, so we're on 4. I'm going to bump up my DC to 200 now, since I got whacked on that one. And we got another 7. See, this is where it starts to go awry. Once you start pushing up those DCs and you just have PSO after PSO after PSO, very hard to recover from that. 415. All right, so we're on the 5. I'm going to go $300 DC now. And we got an 8, which I don't want to play. So $300 is going to be $270 in place bet. 50, 60, 70. All right, and that's working. And now I got to go another 300 DC. And again, that money out there is locked up, but it's, you know, it's not money you can use now. All right, so that DC is going to move behind the 4, which is good. We got a 3-unit DC, so we're going to do a 3-unit come. 7 right now would be ideal, and there we go, 7. So we're going to get 75 for our come bet, and we're going to get 300 for our DC, and we're going to win 300 there, and we got 270 there, so it's another 30 bucks to make us whole. There we go. All right, so that was a nice hand. And let's do a chip count, see where we're at. Probably pretty close to at least 400, if not 5. So let's do a quick sanity check here and see where we're at. All right, so that's 500. That's 500 plus 100. All right, so that's 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1,500. 2,000. 1, 2, 3. So we're already up 450 bucks. $450. Let's just make sure that that is truly 100. Should be, because I haven't touched it. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Yep. All right. So let's go for one more hand and see if we can push us up to the $500 level. So that was fairly easy to get there, I think. Not too much heat. Here we go, coming out. 5, 3, 2, 5. And I say, what I mean by that is we didn't have to go up to 400, 500, 600 DC. That's a lot of heat right there. All right. And we got an 8. Square pair, hard 8. All right, so that's going to move behind the 8. Again, I still don't want to play the 8 or 9, or 6 or 8. So there's 90 on the 8. Place bet and working. Another $100 DC. Here we go. And we got an 8 again. All right, so that's going to pay 1. So that's going to pay 105. So I'm just going to take a nickel and go back on the DC. Here we go. And we got a 9, neater, 639. All right, so DC is going to move behind the 9. Single unit on our come. So we'll start our come bets, looking for a 7 right now. We got an 11, which is going to be a winner on the come. So that's a 20, so we're up $25 right there. We're 1/4 away from our win goal. And we got an 8, 628. All right, so that's going to clean up the 8. So the 8's going to pay 105. We're going to lose the DC and we'll get a nickel and take all of that down. All right, and another 1/4 on the come. Here we go. And we got a 4. Hard 4, 2, 2. Another 1/4 on the come. 9. Oh, that's a bad one. All right, so that's going to knock us off our DC. So now I'm going to push my DC to 200. And we got an 8, 628. All right, 200 is going to move behind the 8. 8's going to come down and get paid. And we're going to do, that's going to come down because I need another DC. And 200 is going to be 180. Place bet on the 8 because I don't want to play that. All right, and then $300 DC. Here we go. $200 DC, sorry, $200 DC. All right, here we go. And god damn, 7 out. 7 PSO, I mean PSO. Wow. All right, well that's 200 down there. And we're gonna lose this 50. We're gonna get 200 for our 180, so that's another 20 bucks. All right, so now we're back down again. All this goes back in our rack. And we're even there, up maybe 100 bucks, maybe 200 bucks. All right, here we go. And we got 11. And 6. All right, so point is 6. $100 DC. And we got a 7. So we're going to be off the 6. We're going to lose our DC. Yeah, it can go sideways, and that's what BAM was saying. You know, you get going, and then all of a sudden it starts going sideways. It can go sideways pretty hard. 4. All right, so we're on the 4. Now I'm going to do a $200 DC. And we got a 6. All right, so that's going to be behind the 6 for 200. That's going to be 180 place on the 6. 2 unit DC. Here we go. 5. All right, we can play the 5. All right, so that's going to go behind the 5 for 2 units. So we're going to be on the come for 2 units. And we got a box cars, which is going to be a loser on the come. Another 2 units. Hey, Waylon, good evening. 3, that's going to be a loser on the come. 5, that's going to knock us off our DC. So now we're going to have to go to a $300 DC. Just that quick, boys and girls. 5. All right, so that $300 DC is going to move behind the 5. DC is going to move down and get paid. That was a 2 unit, so now we'll leave it out there for 3. Here we go. And we got a 3 craps, which is going to be a loser on the DC. Another 3 units. 7 out. All right, so we'll get the 3 units back that we lost there, and we're going to get 300 there, and we got 200 there, and we got 180 out there, so it's another 20 bucks. All righty. All right, I better do a chip check just to see where the heck I'm at. I think we're probably maybe a little bit better than break even, but this strategy has surprised me more than once. So let's see where we're at. All right, so there's 1,000. All right, and that's even. That's 2,000. That's our starting bankroll. So we got 50, 75, 100, 125, 150. All right, so we're up 150. So we'll go back to base. We were up, what, 450 at one point? But that counted, you know, what was on the table out here. All right, so 6 is the point, and we're going to do $100 DC. And we got a 9, Neener. All right, so we're behind the 9. $25 come. And we got a 9. So that's going to knock us off our DC. $200 DC. There we go. 2 aces in both places. That's what we want to see. All right, so where were they at? The 8 or the 9? I don't know. I hit it. I don't remember now. All right, so that's going to pay us 200. And I'm going to go ahead and regress back to 100. There we go. Another 2. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Another 2. Should have left the 200 out there. All right, so it's going to pay us 100. Oh, that was a 9, right? Because I knocked myself off the 9. All right, and that is an 11. So it's going to be a loser on the DC. Okie doke. And we got a 5, fever. All right, so that's going to move behind the 5. Single unit come. 6 point hit. All right, so that's going to move to the 6. We're going to be off and looking for a new point. 7, come out 7, nice. So we're going to lose 50, but we're going to get 100. Still coming out. All right, and now we got a 6. Point is 6. All right, $100 DC. 10, that's a good DC number. All right, so we're going to move behind the 10. Single unit come, here we go. And we got a 6, so it's going to be a point hit. It's going to move to the 6, off the 6, coming out. New point. Boxcars. All right. That's a boxcars. All right, there's a 7. So come out 7, we're going to get paid 100 and lose this quarter. So that worked out. That worked out in our favor. All right, so let's do another chip check. All right, so there's our 1,000, 2 stacks of 500, right on. Oh, no, we're a quarter shy. Quarter shy. All right, 3, 4, 5. All right, make sure I got that right. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, yep. All right, so there's our 1,000. There's 1,500 and 2,000, so now we're up 3, 25, 50, 375. All right. Here we go again. All righty. What's Waylon saying? The game is simple and you make it hard. Who's making it hard? Am I making it hard? I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right. I mean, I think there's always room for improvement. You can always improve a strategy. So you just got to keep tweaking it. And that was a AC-doocy. I mean, there are no perfect strategies. There's always things I think you can add to a strategy. Some will make it better, some will make it worse, but you know, you don't know until you try. All right, 628 is the point, $100 DC. And we got a 7 flipping PSO, 0.7 out. PSOs are a 4-letter word. All right, so we're on the 4. Now I'm going to do a $200 DC. 2 or 3 would be nice again. Ah, flipping 11. Sheesh. All right. Going to go out for a $300 DC. And there we go. We got a 3 on that one. AC-doocy, that's 3 units. I'm going to reduce it to 2 units. Keep it out there. 2 or 3, nope, got a 5. 5's all right. All right, 2 units behind the 5, 2 units on the come. All right, now we need big red. We got a 6. All right, it's going to move to the 6. Another 2 unit come. And there's our 7 out. It's all right. So the 6 is going to pay the come, and we're going to get 200 on our DC. We lost 100, so we should be up 100 from where we just were, which was 375, so we should be close to 475 now. All right, there's our 1,000. I got 500 there, so I better check. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. All right, so there's our 1,000 in green. There's our 1,000 in black. And we're up over 500, so this session is over. 25, 50, 75. So we made 575 on this session, and that was how long? 32 minutes. 32 minutes. All right, so 13 was a wipeout, but 14 has got us back on our winning ways. All right, so 14 is plus 575. All right. And again, I mean, that's the whole purpose of doing 30 of these, is I want to see over 30 sessions how many winners and how many losers we have. I mean, if we only have a couple of losers and most of them are winners, that is a winner right there. That is a profitable strategy. And we were up like $6,800 overall, less than $1,940 that I lost in the previous session. So 2,000, so that's 4,800. And then depending on how you want to bookkeep the third session, when we were going for 1,000, where if I was only going for 500, we would have had a plus 500 on that one, which I'm kind of leaning towards the plus 500. You know, after we made the adjustment, I should put that in parentheses behind it. Plus 500. I think we were like 900 actually, but we'll just say we would have stopped at plus 500 on that one. All right. So if we add them all up, we're up at least 2 bankrolls, two $2,000 bankrolls in profit over 14 sessions, and that in itself is still very impressive. But you know, so who was it that was saying they got whacked? Marvin? I got destroyed. So I'd like to hear from Marvin how he got destroyed. Let me see if he talked about it and I just missed it because I wasn't really paying attention. I don't see what Marvin didn't tell us how he got destroyed. I'm assuming it's by a bunch of PSOs. And then BAM was also saying that he lost like $2,600. I'm assuming that was real money, not play money, but playing it over the last few days. So that's pretty gutting. I mean, that'll get you to sit up and take notice. Start losing bankrolls that size. I mean, unless you got a lot of money, but nobody's got that much money to just, you know, piss it away, that's for sure. May be comfortable with gambling it, but nobody likes to lose it. I don't care what anybody says. All right. What's Red Eye saying? Waylon, can you explain what the game has of craps evolves around? Yeah, all right. I don't understand Red Eye's comment about what Waylon said, that the game of crap revolves around the 4, 10, and the 7. That is a nonsensical statement to me. I can't reconcile that. I don't know what that means. The 4, 10, and the 7. You know, why not the 6, 8, and the 7? Why not the 4, 5, 9, and the 7? I don't understand the 4 and 10. I mean, to me, you could say it revolves around the 7, because the 7 is the only thing that it creates a decision, right? Obviously, you have two different games. You have the come out, and then you have the point. But in either case, the 7 makes a decision on either of those. So, I don't know. I don't get the 4 and 10. Red Eye revolves around the 4 and 10 and 7. You need to explain that, Waylon. That makes no sense to me. Maybe do a video on that. So, and I'll go watch it like a good student so I can understand what you're talking about. Because just making that statement doesn't make any sense. Why you would single out the 4 and the 10 and the 7 and say craps revolves around those numbers. 4 and 10 pay double, plus they are rolled more than the 7. No, they are not rolled more than the 7 at the end of the day. If you look at roll probability, it's always going to be the same. They're going to be rolled half as many times as a 7. Period. Half as many times. And I'm not talking about combined, because combined is nonsensical. Each one, the 4 or the 10, not the 4 and the 10, because there is no 4 and 10. It's 4 or 10, and they're always going to be half. Okay, well, but the math does not bear that out. So I just want to understand where you're coming from in your opinion, because I believe it's totally flawed. I don't see the logic in it. Makes no sense. Red Eye seems to understand it, but unless you can explain it, it's not a thing. Combined. There is no combined. What combined? It's like you can't combine numbers. Each one has its own roll probability, and it's its roll probability relative to the rolls in the 7. There is no combining. Combining, it's not a thing. Yeah, okay, I got you. Three ways to roll a 4, 3 ways to roll a 10. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 ways to roll a 7. Got it. So, but to say it revolves, to say the game of craps revolves around the 4, the 10, and the 7, that's nonsensical. Win or lose. What? Well, yeah, if you add them together, I mean, you could add the 4 and the 5 together. All right? 3 ways to roll a 4 and 4 ways to roll a 7. So combined, you got 7 ways to win. 7 ways to roll that. What does it mean? What does that mean? So that means if you're always betting on the 4 and the 10, that you should win or lose the same number of times against the 7? Doesn't work that way. Yeah, they pay double. Okay, got it. Yes, they pay double, but they only hit half the time. That's why they pay double. Because you're a lot less likely to see one of those than you are one of the inside numbers, and especially the 7. That's why it pays double. So if you want to gamble on seeing it, that's why on the come bet, I hate it when a come moves to the 4 or the 10. Because the probability of hitting another 4 or 10 is much less than hitting a 7. That's why they pay you more. It's all about the probability of how often it's going to roll. All right. I don't want to get into a big debate. I don't understand. I don't understand the rationale, but everybody is entitled to their own opinions, and I respect those opinions. All right, this is Scott from Paradise Craps. That is session, what does my board say, 14 in the books.